Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to take today to do some reflecting. We are in the month of May, so believe it or not, we're already almost halfway through this year. Um, and today I just wanted to do some reflection on how 2025 has been going for me so far. I started this year out with a video claiming my year, my word for the year. And I just wanted to kind of talk about that. So, my word for this year was release. Oh, wow. Um, it has been a year of release for me. Um, Honestly, it's been really intense and not very fun at times. Um, I have been doing like a lot of purging, like mass amount of purging, um, in just several different ways. I have been um, really going through a lot of reflection and realizing like all of these toxic things I was clinging to. So I had a handful of relationships I had to let go of, or at least like let go of the toxic part of those relationships. Um, I also had to, oh my gosh, being on camera is so hard for me. I wonder if I just do it without camera, if this will go better. I'm really struggling to talk in front of a camera. When I do, it's just like I can't breathe. I'm so not me in front of a camera. How do I get better at this? So the reason why I'm even doing this, doing this whole camera thing, even though I can't stand being in front of a camera. But the only reason why is because I'm hoping that I can somehow help someone through this and help myself. So me doing this right now is embracing my word release, because I'm releasing all of the fear and anxiety I have about being on camera and making a fool out of myself, and just caring so much what people think. I think that's my honestly my biggest struggle, is just caring what people think to the point it just robbed my life. um I created an entirely different human, um just because I thought that the person who I really was too much, um and wasn't lovable. And so why I'm here even going through all of this is because long ago when I was a little girl, I just thought who I am isn't worthy of anything. Who I am isn't lovable. Who I am is too much, and no one will love her. And so I had to create this false person that someone could like. And my journey has been releasing that false person. It has been an insane, crazy journey. Whew, I can't even put into words. And that's why I wanted to do this podcast or show or whatever you want to call this. I don't know. I just wanted to share with the world so that they didn't feel like they're alone. Because when I went through this whole experience and this whole journey, it was excruciating. It's extremely difficult. And I felt extremely alone. And I don't want everyone else to feel that way. I really wish I would have had someone there for me. Um, when I was going through all of this, someone who could just say, like, hey, I got you, or just listen to what I'm going through, or tell me I'm not crazy. Just someone who was there. And I was too afraid to talk about it. I was too afraid to tell anyone. So instead, I just isolated and I did it all on my own, which I'm proud of myself for. But I don't want other people to have to do this alone. So that's why I'm making these videos. And it is so hard for me to do this. So bear with me. Um, but at the same time, I really did want these videos to just be raw and genuine. But I can't help but constantly be caught up in like what looks good, you know? Um, but yeah. So my word for the year was release. And like I said, it has been just purging after purging. And it's just beginning. Um, yeah, I feel like I've let go of a lot. And it's continuing to grow. Even like today, I saw a dietitian for the first time in my life, kind of like a health coach, more or less, than a dietitian. Um, in the sense of like health, like physically, eating better, taking better care of my body. I've neglected my body a lot, and I actually do want to get into that maybe on a separate video of me discovering why I neglected myself so much. But basically, when you've been hurt, you don't want to be seen, because you don't want to be seen, or you don't want to be hurt again. So if you're not noticed, if you're not desired, then no one will hurt you. Was that kind of the subconscious thoughts in my head? So I completely neglected my body. I neglected everything about myself. Um, and I want to release that neglect. I really want to start embracing my inner and outer beauty in a new way, and not by necessarily like fake nails and fake eyelashes and hair extensions and everything else I used to do. I want to be like my natural, beautiful self. So I am releasing that self neglect and replacing it with self care. Um, Self care is so important. And I feel like a lot of women in today's Western culture, self care has turned into trying to impress others. Um, and also numbing themselves. Um, but what really matters is getting better, you know? I'm not here to knock how anyone does their own self-care. Everyone has their own thing, but for me personally, I used to think like self-care is going and buying a Starbucks and getting my nails done and getting a new outfit and I don't know, having wine night and bitching about everything. And everything has its time and place, and everyone deals with things differently. But for me personally, it was more damaging than healing because, yeah, I liked to have long nails and pretty nails. Sure, who doesn't like to have pretty nails? But I was doing it to impress others. I wasn't doing it for me. I think of how much we do that, especially women in our society, of like, how many times are we doing something for someone else? What are we doing to gather attention? Are we getting that new outfit because we want other people to think we look good? Or are we buying that outfit because when you put it on, you feel like $1 million and just so good about yourself? I haven't been living for me, and I've been on this journey lately, and I've been starting to try to live for me. Um there was this funny little moment I had a few weeks ago. I had a night to myself. I think I had to work in the next morning and my husband had the girls somewhere or something. There's some reason why I was home alone for a night. And I don't know why I all of a sudden had this thought like I have this like one piece of lingerie I bought for our wedding and our honeymoon. And I thought about that one little piece I had in my closet and I went and put it on. And I think I even did my makeup and I put on some music and I just danced around in my house in my lingerie all alone. And I realized it was the first time in my life that I ever dressed up and looked good for me. I got to have that moment with myself where I wasn't putting this clothing on to get the attention of a male, to please my husband, to please anyone else. There was no one else in the entire house. It was just me. And it was seemed so silly at the time, but it was so amazing and it was so freeing. And I just realized, wow, I am 31 years old and I have never once dressed up for myself. I'm always dressing up for everyone else. And I just I just want to let go of the need to please everyone else and at the same time completely neglecting yourself. I want to start doing things for me. And I think that our society has put a lot of shame on that, especially for us women and moms, especially. It's like we're taught that we have to be selfless. And I personally do not like that word. Um, it's actually kind of a trigger for me because I actually used to like the word selfless and I used it a lot. But then I realized like selfless is like without yourself. Like you are abandoning yourself in something. And what I realized is like, so I know like people use the word selfless when they're like giving to someone else, like, oh, they're selflessly helping someone else. But what I realized is when I'm genuinely doing something to help someone else, my heart is full and I feel that. And it gives me almost more joy than it gives the person that I'm giving to. I so I think about the word selfless, and it'd be like there's no self in that. But what I realized is like actually when I'm loving someone, when I'm giving to someone, when I'm doing something positive for someone else, it's giving so much back to me. How can I say that I'm not returning anything or I'm not gaining anything in return? Like my heart is full. I get so much joy and gratitude and fulfillment out of doing something for someone else. And so, long story short, yeah, I don't like the word selfless. And we're trained that we have to be selfless, that we can't care about ourselves. And so we neglect ourselves. We put ourself aside and put everyone else before us. And I did that for years. And all it did was cause me to be this burnt out, crabby, exhausted, overwhelmed, isolatory person I never want to be again in my life. I never want to be that person again. I want to be able to care for myself so I am full of love and energy and excitement and empathy and everything else that I can just pour out onto everyone else. And so this year I'm releasing that guilt of taking care of myself. And I'm going to take care of myself. And I am taking care of myself. And it feels really good. And I'm still trying to figure it out, you know? It's like something we have to practice. It's something I'm not familiar with. You know, I've neglected myself for as long as I can remember. So it's baby steps, it's practicing. But each and every day, we can do one tiny thing to care for ourselves. Do one thing that makes you feel good, and it's not for anyone else, just you. If it's like that thing where, you know, if no one else could see what you did, would you still do it? If no one could see your nails because they're invisible, would you still do them? You know, if no one could see this outfit on you, would you still buy it? Or is it just itchy and irritating and you don't like it? I think it's not what we do, but why we do them that matters. And I'm kind of just coming into this part of my life where I really I really want to start paying attention to why. I have been paying attention to why. Why is the most crucial word in your healing journey. And that's what I've discovered. It's like most of my healing has been when I'm sitting with myself and I ask myself again and again, why? Why do I feel this way? Why am I doing this? Why? And it has got me to this point where I have so much self realization and so much clarity. And I can actually start making decisions and doing things that actually align with me and who I genuinely am and who I want to become. So yeah. Anyway, I feel like this video is just kind of all over, but I think I'm just gonna post it because I have to. Um, I need to get over this fear I have. And I just thank all of you for whoever's in this journey with me. Thank you. These videos are not going to be perfect. They're going to be far from, but I'm going to try to keep it real. I told myself in the beginning that I want to be raw, real, and honest and vulnerable. To me, vulnerability is the key to healing this world. We need to see the human in each other. We need to see the imperfections and flaws. And as I started this journey and as I started doing my own videos and I've been watching more and more videos, I get stuck on this wanting to be perfect. How do you have this great YouTube channel? How can you get people to hear your message? And I feel like it started out in a genuine spot, where I really want to help people. But then that I want to help people can so easily be turned into what do people think about me? And this is just such a prime example. It's like, what are people going to think when they see this video? But I'm trying to come to the point where I don't care. I don't care what they think. They can think whatever they want. They can think I'm a completely crazy person. They can think I suck at videos and I should just stop. I don't care. Let them think. I just want to be me. And I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not a professional recorder. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I'm just an everyday mom, wife, human, just trying to live in this world and just trying to share my experience and hopes that I can help others, just to be some sort of person that can help when they feel alone, when they're on their own journey and they just feel like it's intolerable, or if they just want to feel human, they just want to listen to someone who is just a human and not this picture perfect studio artist. So I don't know, but this is me. I'm gonna post this as is. I'm not editing anything. I'm not even cutting out when I started and I can't talk. I realized rewatching some of my other videos, sometimes I just shake my head after, where it's like, oh my gosh, Natalie, why? Like, I come on wanting to be so genuine, and then I just like look at myself talking and I can just see how I'm so like, like I'm just so nervous and trying to be perfect and try to be pretty. And I'm like sitting here trying to talk about a hardship I have with a smile on my face. Like, it's just so silly. And I don't want to be that way anymore. So, um, don't even know what I really accomplished with this video. um, but here's me being real. Here's me releasing my fears of what other people think for 2025. There's so much releasing happening in my life, and I'm so excited to see where it's bringing me. I will do another update on my release journey as we go through the year. But so far, it has been absolutely amazing. I've been purging internally, like emotional stuff, processing through a lot, releasing a lot of fears, releasing a lot of toxic relationships, um, releasing my, how would I word it? Like not wanting to accept help, or trying to feel like you have to do it on your own, feeling like you're a burden, not accepting gifts. um I'm coming to this point where I realize, like, I feel the most fulfilled when I give to someone. So me denying a gift or help or a service is actually denying someone else that amazingness they get when they get to help someone. So I've decided to um fully give, but also allow myself to receive, and releasing that fear, that guilt. It's actually more of a guilt, to receive. That guilt of feeling you're not worthy of help, that shame of that you can't do it on your own. We're not meant to do this on our own. That's why we're all here together. We're not meant to live in these little houses isolated by ourselves. We're supposed to be tribal people. And just acknowledging that and releasing those thoughts I used to have of, like, I need to be this independent person. If I'm asking for help or if I receive anything, I am failing. And so just releasing all that. So, lots of releasing. Also, I've been releasing physically. Um, I have been doing some body work, both with um, people who practice and also with myself, of just releasing energy. It has honestly been insane, like insane how much energy I had accumulated in my body and how much blockage I had, and how freeing it has been to go through some of these things in my body and just releasing stuff. I had this amazing session with one of my favorite people, Chelsea, who just rocks my world. And uh, yeah, I was so mind blown. Like when I first saw Chelsea, and she I would have been like probably over a year ago was the first time I saw Chelsea. It was right in the beginning of my journey. And I've had a few sessions with her. She calls them soul sessions. And she is literally like a shaman. I'm not even kidding. She's amazing. I don't even know what she does. I don't know what to call it, but it's magical. And when I first saw her, she was the very first person I ever seen to do body work, and I had no idea what to expect. And I remember the first few sessions I have done with her, I was so crippled with shame and fear and just everything else. Where I remember she trying to do body work on me, and I remember just feeling paralyzed, like just frozen. And she'd do all of her magic stuff that she does, I don't even know. And so much is getting poured out of me, like, but just pain, excruciating pain. Like, and I just remember just feeling so, I don't know how to put it into words, honestly. Like, it was like there was so much in there that wanted to come out, but I was so stiff and I was so like blocking it, and I was so full of fear nothing could budge. It was just like almost solid. Because it was just so much, and everything was so trapped. Um and so over this course of a year, I don't know how many times I've seen her, probably at least like 6 or so times maybe. I don't even know, but the last time I saw her was almost a year ago, or like 9 months ago or so. Prior to this last time, I just saw her a few weeks ago, but prior to this session a few weeks ago, I haven't seen her in several months. And I could not believe it. I had the most insane experience with her, like I always do, but the part for me that was so crazy was that I felt in total control of my body. Where prior, I felt like she really had to do the work to really try to pull it out. And I felt like for the very first time, she was there and she got me there and she held the space for me and she did all of her things. And I got to work with her. Like, I could tell what I needed to do. I could move my body and do the things I needed to do. And it was just this gorgeous, beautiful session of just like working together. And I don't even know, it was like an hour long of me just moving everywhere in all sorts of ways. And I felt so much coming out. And honestly, at the end of it, I felt like I lost like 100 pounds. It was so crazy. Like, it was insane to me how much was stuck in my body and how much I was able to push and move in one single session. And I think that just goes to show what happens when we release our fear and we take back control of our body and we work together with people and healers. And it just like we move mountains, honestly. It was just incredible experience. And right after that, I ended up going to one of my first like retreat slash conference. It's more of a conference. I've been to one of Chelsea's retreats before, but it was like my first conference ever with Heart Math Institute, which I maybe will do a video on because I loved it. It was such an amazing experience. But seeing Chelsea right before going there, best decision I ever made. And it just purged all this stuff out of my body. So I came into this conference, into this space completely clear and open and full of love. And I made some of the most amazing connections with people. I met some of the most greatest people. And I had the just most wonderful time. I can't even explain it. It's like my body was so on another level while I was at this conference after Chelsea did work on me. I literally couldn't drink coffee. Like, I'm a person, I wish I could have an IV of coffee some days because I'm so drained and exhausted. I could not have a cup of coffee. I would be shaking if I did. My whole body was literally like vibrating with this intense energy when I came into that space for that conference and around so many like-minded people who are all full of love. And we got to meditate together and we got to send love to each other and we got to open our hearts together and be vulnerable. And I was in a room of 200 strangers and you felt complete peace and love, like you're home. And it was the most profound experience. And I don't think I would have been able to have that experience that I did if I wouldn't have seen Chelsea prior. And it's so amazing because I wasn't even planning to see her. It was kind of like a last minute. I was just like, hey, do you think I can see you this day? And she happened to be able to fit me in. And I'm so grateful because it was essential and it's what I needed. And so, yeah, here I am purging, 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 releasing. I'm releasing so much and it's continuing to go. I'm, 5 months in and it's honestly mind blowing how much I released. So thanks for listening to me. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Yeah, I'm so excited to see what this rest of the year brings. There's some big things happening in my life right now that's all developing. I guess I could add this to the release as well is I'm also releasing my career. I think I might do a whole separate thing on why, but it's time for me to let go and move on. So some big changes coming. Sounds like we might be physically moving our home. Um, so releasing our previous home here, embracing a new opportunity, releasing my career, which is insane, honestly. I've been a labor and delivery nurse for 8 years, and that's all I know. And I have no idea what's gonna come next. We'll see. But just releasing all of these things, and the more we can release and the more we can open our hearts and clear our bodies and just purge all this stuff that's holding us back, the more opportunities are going to open and all this abundance can flow in. And I am seeing that before my very eyes. So it's honestly amazing. I'm so excited. I'm so blessed. And I can't wait to share this journey with you. Thank you all. I hope you have a fantastic day. I love you so much. Bye.